Trying to tell your story to the world? MailChimp can help for free, and I can vouch for this personally. I use MailChimp and have for a number of years. They make it so easy. They've got these really, really gorgeous pre-designed email templates, but you can also code your own. You can get creative, make it look exactly the way you want. They will show you how to send it, when you should send it, why people open an email, or why they click delete. It is a very, very good service. They can help you find the people out there. They can help you grow your business. It really is so effective. I use it all the time. MailChimp can help you tell your story effectively and find the people who care about it. Personally vouch for it. Once again, more at MailChimp.com. Hello to all my whisperers out there. This is Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, 1 phone call. No names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
This episode, I don't know where to begin. Here's what you get is right out of the gate, a glimpse into a subculture, which is a thing I always enjoy, and this is a subculture that our callers really invested in and passionate about and can walk us through, and man, was I happy to hear about it. And she's quite charming. I really enjoyed my time talking to her. It does take some real turns as well along the way. I hope you like this one, and I hope for many of you guys out there to unlock doors and you all start getting in on this stuff. I hope that this subculture is for you. We shall all see together. Enjoy it, Beautiful Anonymous.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello?
Yeah, hey.
Oh, I'm on.
Yeah, you
How's
are.
it going?
It's good. Yeah, I felt like I heard you talking to somebody else. I felt like I cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I was talking to somebody else. I've been on hold for a while, so I have like one earbud in, and I'm just sort of going about my day, but that's exciting.
Yeah, what's that entail? What's going about your day entail?
Going to work. So when I first called, I was just in bed on Twitter and saw the phone number, and then I've been on hold so long that I took a shower, fed my cat, did all the things, and now I'm at work. But I'm walking outside to talk to you.
Look at that. That's how we roll here. Very popular,
Yeah.
Very popular on the line. I'm so sorry that you've been waiting that long. I hope I fulfill fulfill all the expectations after all that.
The hold music is very relaxing.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. What is it? I think it's an automated thing. I don't think we pick it.
Yeah, it's like classical music, but it's like a 30-second clip, I think, that just loops. And there's actually a few seconds in there where it sounds like someone is breathing heavily over it, which is a little creepy. But it was like, oh, wait, is somebody actually on the line? And they're just like listening to me while I'm on hold? But I don't think that's true.
No, I don't.
So, yeah.
No, I at least on our end, we don't have anyone creepily breathing into the phone on purpose. I tell you that. I'm going to say something right out of the gate. I like you. You got energy.
Yeah.
You got energy.
Yeah, I had coffee. That's good. What can I say? So, the breathing thing, right? The breathing over the music.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of, are you familiar with ASMR?
ASMR?
Yeah, ASMR.
I'm not sure that I am. Walk me through this. Maybe it'll click. I don't know that I'm familiar with this.
So it's like a subculture of people who make these videos or audio recordings that are supposed to relax you. Or I guess maybe it's not always to relax you, but they'll like whisper, and you listen to these people whispering. It's like all over YouTube.
I have heard of this.
And so that's what, yeah. I started making them like this year, because I got really into it. It's fun. And so the hold music and the heavy breathing really reminded me of that.
So wait, you make them. You make videos where you whisper with the intent of calming people down?
Yeah. And so I think that that's interesting because it's kind of similar to like what you do. You talk to people to calm them down, maybe. I mean, not always to calm them down, but to make them feel better, to make them feel something, right? And you get something out of it as well. Like if you have a meaningful conversation with someone, you probably have a better day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just here to try to make people feel like they can be listened to and have a platform, and then I feel like I empathize. And you know what it does is I think it allows me to not get caught up in little things in my own life that don't matter because I remember I'm part of a bigger world.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very similar. It's like this group of people who make these videos and audio recordings that are trying to do just that, like connect with other people. Like a lot of them there are a lot of like role plays. So it's like getting a haircut and you can listen to someone like snipping your hair. And if you listen with headphones, it's really great.
Now,
yeah.
This is an activity you participated in that's largely driven through an audio medium.
Right. I mean, there's like video triggers as well.
Great.
Like if you've seen, I don't know if you're on, you're on all the social medias. Like if on the Instagram Discover, there's like all those weird, like oddly satisfying videos. Those things where someone's like playing with sand. That's ASMR too.
Well, here's what I was going for is that this can be driven by audio. You're on an audio platform right now. Is there any way you'd be willing to demonstrate some ASMR for us on the phone? Or is there any way you'd be able to give a little sampling of this to our listeners who are currently wondering exactly what this entails?
I can try. It's difficult, I guess, because I use like a special microphone, but let me try. So here we go. How are you today? Can you hear that? Like, can you hear when I whisper like that?
Yeah, I can.
Does that work?
I can, yeah.
Today's Friday, and I don't want to be at work, so I called a podcast. I don't have many plans for this weekend, but I should probably figure that out because it's Friday. Like that.
And you'll do. And how long? Generally, these ASMR pieces that you post, how long will those go for?
Most of mine are like less than 20 minutes, but more than 15. But like the good ones, like the ones that I listen to 20 minutes. The good ones, though, that I listen to from other people can be like an hour and a half. Like they just really help me relax and like fall asleep. So the longer, the better, because you have more time to fall asleep.
And have you found that your efforts in this world, like, do you have fans? Do you have people who specifically seek out your ASMR?
I only have like 30 subscribers on YouTube, but I have like, people that, like a select few group of people that are very encouraging to me. So yeah, I mean, it's just a creative outlet that is exciting and fun.
It's cool. It's cool. I think it's really cool. I will say it's totally foreign to me. I will say that you probably hear some glee in my voice. I want you to know that this is not meant to be facetiousness or judgment in any way. It's that I'm talking to someone who participates in something that I have never experienced, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Yeah. So, what does ASMR stand for?
It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which is like a made-up term that I think was coined in like a chat room in 2009 to sort of make it sound like more scientific than it actually is. Like there was like this forum and people were talking about this strange feeling. So I guess another thing that I haven't told you yet is it gives people like a physical sensation, sort of like tingles are going down their spine. Like they start at the top of your head and they go all the way down, which is bizarre if you actually experience it. Like if you've ever had somebody whisper in your ear and you get that like that weird, tiny like spark feeling. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's trying to elicit that like physical sensation, which they call tingles. And so
people almost use this as like a drug, almost as like a hallucinatory experience.
Yeah, I mean, you can get numb to it. Like if you listen to it all the time, it will no longer work. And I think that there are probably people who listen to it too much, maybe, but I don't know. I think it really helps with like anxiety and depression. It just, there's not a lot of like real research done on it in terms of like what's happening in your brain when you like experience those sensations. But
I'll tell you, we just looked it up on our end, and Wikipedia, it says that some of the other names people use for this is attention-induced head orgasm, attention-induced euphoria, brain massage, head tingle, brain tingle, spine tingle, and brain orgasm. These are some other things that people... So this is an orgasmic. You would compare this to an orgasmic feeling when done effectively.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, so there's like a debate within the ASMR community of whether or not it's like sexual, because most people, when they see it, they're like, oh, this is a sex thing, like without a doubt, you know, because it's normally like a pretty girl, like talking to you softly on a webcam, right? So it seems like a sex thing. And then because people use the word orgasm, that's also like, oh yeah, okay. But it's different.
That does put it in a sexual realm. To be fair, once you attach the word orgasm to it, it's not, people aren't making I don't know if it's, people are making assumptions at that point. So do you post videos or audio?
Well, so I guess like a couple of years ago, I started making videos as soon as like Instagram let you put videos. And I didn't know that that's what I was doing. Like I'd never heard of ASMR. And then someone was like, that stuff that you do is like totally ASMR. I'm like, what? And then I learned about it. Fast forward, I started making just audio recordings, but putting them on YouTube because that's where the community is. But I'm working on one right now that actually has a video component. So that's exciting that I'm finally going to do one that has both. But like when I consume it as a medium, I only listen to it really like in the dark with headphones at night alone.
So this, it's something of a sleep aid or a centering at the end of a long day type activity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it seems like this is something that's come to be maybe a little, have a little bit of a defining role in your life.
I guess so. I mean, it's like the most interesting hobby, right? Like if you're on like Tinder and you put that in your profile, people are like, what? You know what I mean? So it's a good conversation starter. And it's also, people have a lot of questions. So. Yeah.
This is not a job for you. This is not a gig for you in any way, huh?
No, I mean, I think that like, you have to have a certain number of subscribers to like make any money off of YouTube. So it's just a hobby.
Wow. So when you're at work, are you thinking about ASMR? Is it something?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to it a lot at work. Like I'll listen to podcasts or ASMR at work. Because it's nice to just have something in the background, whether or not you're like paying attention to it, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
But I think
cool
that
stuff.
what your prompt for today was about diversity. And this isn't directly, it's kind of related, but I think that one of the reasons why I enjoy it is because it is this like female dominated industry. And I don't know of many, you know, because most of the creators are women. Not all of them. There are some men that are really good, and I listen to them a lot. But most of them are women because it's like this nurturing act. Like a lot of them are just giving you like positive affirmations or like telling you did a great job. So it's like very maternal.
Yeah. So I would imagine that for some people, and not having participated in this, it sounds like there's like some maternal intentions. You put headphones on, you're in the dark. Like it almost feels like you're taking people back to the womb in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
But I guess that's also why it's like perceived as this sexual thing. I mean, I get it. It's sort of like if you just look at it, it looks probably like any I don't know, like all those like jack off instruction videos, like it sort of feels like that initially, and you're like, where is this going?
Wait,
Are they going to tell me to take off my pants? You know what I
pump
mean?
the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. You're talking about jack off instructional videos. What?
That's what. Well, I mean, I think that's why like a lot of men in particular will like enjoy ASMR because it's like a pretty girl talking to you.
But wait,
And
slow down. You had a couple too many sips of coffee. It sounds like I'm not familiar with jack off instructional videos.
Oh, I mean, it's just porn. It's like a girl sitting there and she just like tells you what to do. I'm not going to demonstrate it for you.
No.
You
I would not
up.
ask that. And I'm not asking you to go outside your comfort zone. It's just that you are familiar with some subcultures that many of us are not. So here's a question I have. This is something that you don't view as inherently sexual. A lot of people do. I would imagine a lot of the people who consume this work, if it does have a reputation for being sexual, I bet some people are seeking it out specifically for that. How does it make you feel to know that you have put some things out there and that some of the people finding it are in fact using it for sexual purposes?
Well, I guess I feel like I don't have anything with my face on it. I don't have anything that kind of has me as a like a physical presence on there yet. So I feel like less people look at my videos specifically for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did do one. So a couple of months ago after that rape case, the Brock Turner guy,
Oh, that guy.
I did one role play video where I was a caring friend, like helping a friend who had been sexually assaulted.
Wow.
And so that one recording got like attracted a lot of attention from trolls and then that's when I realized, oh, people definitely don't, there's a lot of people who probably listen to ASMR and seek it out for sexual ways. And then like you do something that is specifically for like victims of sexual assault. And they are all telling you that like they want to find you and rape you. And you're like, oh, awesome. Cool.
The internet is a cesspool of humanity at its worst. And also cat gifs.
Totally.
Also cat gifs, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also the cool thing is that it's a community on the internet that is mostly positive, like aside from the trolls. It's like a creative community where people like support one another and tell you like, oh, why don't you try this when you're recording? It'll sound better. Or it's just like a lot of helpful feedback. Whereas like I feel like in my day job, even though like I'm also a creative, there's not this sense of like helping. It's sort of like more competitive.
Do you have any friends in real life who you met through the ASMR community?
I do. But I think that the more like interesting thing is just finding friends who I didn't know actually like listened to it until I started doing it. And they're like, oh, I thought I was like, I don't talk about this. This is something that I never tell people because everybody thinks it's weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So there's some other people in your life, because this seems like, in general, it sounds like, because I have heard of this vaguely. You had to fill me in. This is still a pretty underground thing by and large, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
but there's like a lot of advertisers now that are using it. Like there was some KFC commercial where like the Colonel is like whispering and playing with his handkerchief. So it's like slowly making its way sort of as a joke, but like into advertising, which I think is cool.
Can I ask you, let's do an experiment, because I'm loving this call. This is fascinating. You've got so much energy, and I don't want to do anything that can derail it, but can you maybe coach me through, maybe I can do some ASMR specifically geared towards our listeners, and you can let me know how I'm doing.
Yeah, well, I think that like what is really cool about what you do is that people are always fantasizing about like talking to you, you know? They're like, oh, if I could just talk to Chris, he would understand me and he would tell me that like, oh, I'm doing fine and life's going to be okay. So I think that like if you could talk softly and just
I'll try it.
I don't know.
I'll try
like,
it.
some
How about
positive affirmations.
How about I do 30 seconds of it? I'll do 30 seconds of it. We'll pause. You can give me notes, critiques as someone who's much more of an expert in this world than I would ever be. And then maybe if it fits, then we'll go with it. And if not, you can give me some pointers and I'll try again. Okay?
Love it. Love it.
Okay, and I want to be clear. I'm gonna go ahead and gear my ASMR specifically towards the very generic stereotypes of a beautiful anonymous listener. So my ASMR is going to be very broad towards the broad cliches that I think people associate with our listeners, even though I think every listener is an individual. It's going to be very broad, okay? So my ASMR will be guided to help the very broad, stereotypical, beautiful anonymous listener. When we come back, we'll find out if I have what it takes to enter the underground world of ASMR. But in the meantime, let's hear about the many fine products and services that our sponsors have to tell you about today. Sometimes it just feels like, man, there are not enough hours in the day. I'm working past the 9 to 5 here. And if you're having a day like that and you're still trying to make time-consuming trips to the post office, you need a better way. And that way is Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you get the postage you need the instant you need it. You buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, right from your computer and printer. It's very quick, very easy. You save money with Stamps.com too. It's just a fraction of the cost of one of those expensive postage meters, and you'll even get special postage discounts that you can't find at the post office. You think about it, so many stretches of my life. You know, you're running back and forth with T-shirts and merch and all this stuff. Anybody who runs a small business knows. You spend half your day on the line at the post office. No. Use Stamps.com instead. Right now, sign up for Stamps.com. Use my promo code BEAUTIFUL for this special offer. You get a 4-week trial, plus a $110 bonus offer, including postage and a digital scale. Get started with Stamps.com today. Within minutes, you'll be printing postage right from your desk. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in BEAUTIFUL. That's Stamps.com. Enter BEAUTIFUL. It's about that time of year again, mindless gift-giving season, that awkward dance where you pass around those generic presents you purchased at the big box mega stores because you didn't know where else to go. But this year, it doesn't have to be that way. This year, buy the gift that makes your friends and family say, "Where did you find this?" That's why I want to tell you about the Grommet. It's awesome. It's an online shop where you'll discover innovative products and gifts from small businesses. The Grommet team has gone to the trouble of finding the coolest, most unique quality gifts from throughout the country, not big box store stuff. These are actual gift items with thought behind them. I tell you, I was in their problem-solving section. I wound up buying. I see a tripod. It's like a tripod thing to hold your iPad. So because my wife and I, we always fall asleep watching TV on the iPad, and then I always am holding it, and then I get scared if I fall asleep, I'm gonna drop the iPod. No, this is a thing that you put over your lap. It was great. I found the thing that I needed. It actually solved a problem in my life via the problem-solving section of the Grommet.com, which has unique items across a variety of categories, and every weekday they introduce a new product. On the Grommet, there's something for everyone, especially those people that are hard to buy for. This holiday season, give your gifts some thought. Visit thegrommet.com/beautiful. That's TheGrommet.com/beautiful. You'll receive $10 off your first $50 purchase. That's thegrommet.com/beautiful. $10 off your first $50 purchase. Thegrommet.com/beautiful. Thank you to all our sponsors who allow this show to happen in the first case. And now, let's get back to the call. My ASMR will be guided to help the very broad, stereotypical, beautiful anonymous listener. Ready? Okay. I'm gonna wait. Okay, I'm gonna go 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If you want to take an improv class, you don't have to ask. You just go take the improv class. You don't have to ask me. You just take it. See if you like it. Just take the improv class. Listen, you're most likely, from what I can tell, middle class to upper middle class white person in your early to mid 20s. Things are probably going to be okay. Okay? And no need to be nervous to talk to me when you get on the phone. I'm an idiot, and I don't know. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Was that good?
Yeah, it was great. And so now I think what you need to add are some sound effects.
Oh.
Because like a lot of people enjoy like tapping. Like if you probably
Tapping.
don't have long fingernails, but like that's a thing.
Okay.
Or some sort of like little noises, like clickings, or you could like. Can you hear this?
No, I hear nothing.
So you need to add some sound effects.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's okay. So clicking and tapping. So I'll similar. But you think that for the type of people looking for this podcast, that's the type of soothing whisper. And was the tone? Because I'll do more. Was the tone okay? Do you feel like the tone was on target? Should it be more whispered?
I think you can. You know how you can speak and you can whisper without a voice, like
yeah.
Like without,
so full on,
maybe
you're
more of
full
that.
on whisper. Okay.
Like full on whisper, yeah.
And again, I'll gear this towards, and maybe it's 30 seconds moves quick. Maybe I'll do like a full. You know what? Actually, let me go, and you cut me off when you have some criticisms or constructive thoughts. So I'll just go, and you cut me off.
Okay.
So I'm looking to whisper more. I'm looking to add some tapping, some clicking, some comforting ancillary noise. And again, I'm going to gear this towards the stereotype of a beautiful anonymous listener. This is going to be geared towards. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
If you want to quit your job and you don't yet have a family and you wonder what would happen if you would just go for it, you can just go for it.
Yes, it's really good. Keep going.
And when you first, like, if I tweet out the number and you don't get through, what you can do is you just wait till next time. And please don't tweet at me for the next 11 days in a row. We'll get there someday. You'll get through.
You're great. Oh, no, that's a little too violent.
Okay, that was too violent. Okay, I'll try again. Okay.
Okay.
One thing that you can keep in mind in life is just like, you can just like be who you are and make some firm decisions and just like be cool with that, and that's totally fine. And probably just like know yourself and own yourself and like be willing to share who you are with the world, and things might turn out okay.
I think you're great. I think you found a new hobby.
You think I got a future in ASMR? Think I can
Anybody does.
You think I can give people brain orgasms?
Of course, yeah. You need to get, I don't know what kind of mic you're recording on. I feel like a lot of podcasters use, well, you probably, I don't know. There's one mic that like fakes stereo sound, because a lot of the sensations can come from moving from like ear to ear. Like when you have headphones in, like somebody's in your left ear and then they move over to the right ear.
Okay.
Or at least that would. So get one of those.
I'm going to let you know that I'm in a studio. I'm in the Earwolf New York studio, and I mean there's six mics here. There, I've been told. Jared just let me know we work off of SM7s. We're pros here, is what he types.
Yeah, I
think there's some slight offense that you would question the quality of our equipment. Here's a question I have for the booth: can we play with a stereo effect? Do we have that ability or no? Is that something we could do? We're checking into it right now because maybe I'll try again and we can do the left-right switch. So you're talking about like a sort of like like how the Beatles and the Beach Boys used to play with that. Okay, we can do some panning.
Yeah, because you want it to sound like somebody's like whispering in your ear, and so it's way more realistic if they're just in one ear.
Okay, so we're gonna do it. I'm being told that you might not be able to hear it live, but that we can do some panning. So I'm going to try another round of ASMR.
Awesome.
I'm going to try another round of ASMR where we switch between the left and right ear. And what exactly, are there things I should prioritize left, right ear switches? Like, is there a type of strategy you have of like, I'm going to jump from side to side for separate thoughts, or, hey,
Well, like a lot of times I'll like repeat the same thing, but just do it over and over again and then switch ears.
Okay,
so like you
repeat
could
the same
say,
thing. Yeah.
you could just be like, hi, I hope you're having a good day. But like, just then do it a bunch of times. I think repetition works on me. I don't know.
Okay. And it always has to be soothing to the listener. Your priorities for like, it wouldn't be good to just keep repeating, if there are so many of you that like this podcast, how come there's so few ratings on iTunes? Like, that wouldn't be a good thing to keep whispering, because that's too self-serving, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there are like rules. Like, you can do whatever you want. I don't want to like portray it as it's only something to be soothing. That's just how I use it, you know? But I'm sure that if any other like content creators listen to this, they'd be like, what? That's not, you're limiting what ASMR is. And like, I don't want to do that.
So there might be some controversy. We might be creating controversy in the tight-knit ASMR world right now. Okay, so,
yeah, I mean, whatever. They can't find me. I'm anonymous.
So I'm going to repeat a phrase. We're going to pan from left to right. We're going to play with the stereo aspects of ASMR to increase the soothing qualities. Again, I'm going to look for tapping, clicking, ancillary noises here.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and think of a good phrase that repeated would help the average stereotypical, beautiful, anonymous listener.
If it has any like sounds, that's really good.
Like mouth sounds?
Like a S sound, that works really well.
Okay. Okay. What's a good thing that I can say to everybody who generally listens to this show? Let me think about this. Okay. Great. Let's see. Oh wait. Now where? This is gonna. Listen, you're next to a truck that's backing up, and I'm trying to soothe people.
I know, it's like a construction zone, and it's really bad.
Why are you calling me from a construction zone? You're going to sprint through a construction zone?
I work like right next to a construction zone. That's why.
Well, I'm trying to get my ASMR here on, and you're messing up my groove. I'm going to add some S noises, some tapping, some clicking.
Oh wait. Hold on.
Okay. Ready?
I
Okay.
ran like right in front of a crane because I was trying to get away from the noise, and then I just turned around and ran the other way.
Please don't do that. Please.
I'm going the other way.
I have an image of you sprinting around a dangerous area. No need. Okay. I'm going to get it going.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Oh wait, we gotta wait for this. Okay. You can also talk to people in your real life too. Left ear. You also, like, I appreciate when you tell me that you want to talk to me, but also you can use it as the platform to maybe think about reaching out to people in your own real life too. Right ear. I really, really appreciate everybody who says they want to talk to me in particular, but I also hope that the long-lasting effect is that you talk more and listen more with people in your real life too. Left ear. Again, I want to reiterate that it's really hugely flattering and such an honor that you tell me online that I'm the only person who will understand, but I also hope that one thing that happens is that you speak and listen more with people you encounter in day to day.
You're great. You're very natural.
Was that clicking and S sound stuff at the end too long, or did it go on for too long, or?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, sometimes there's ones where like the sound effect is the entire like 40 minutes. Like there's this one video of this guy who's just tearing paper towels off a roll for like 45 minutes. That's a good one. You should look that one up.
How many times have you watched that video?
I don't, a lot, probably.
More than a dozen times?
Probably, yeah.
More than 30 times?
I would say no, probably less than 30.
20 to 15 times?
Yeah. That's about like most things.
Yeah. What's we're halfway through this thing. I don't know if I've ever been more fascinated. One of these calls. What's
That's good.
What else is going on? We're gonna definitely talk more about ASMR. You seem like a happy person. You seem like a happy person in general, though, right? Outside of the ASMR.
Yeah, totally. I got a good life. I got a job and friends, and yeah, things are good.
So you're also the most well-adjusted caller in the history of the show.
Well, I don't know if that's like totally true, but I'm good at seeming that way, I guess. There's another truck. They're following me.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't think I'm doing any more ASMR sessions in the next minute or so, at least. So we're good. We're good with the trucks. Don't worry about that. Don't be in your head.
I'm trying to think of what is like another thing that we can talk about. So about 2 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I broke up, and it was one of those things where I wanted to break up with him, but then he came over to my house and broke up with me, and I was like, no, I'm breaking up with you. That was
so you got in a breakup contest. You got in a breakup contest.
Yeah, but I think that he left not hearing me, that I was like, no, me too. And that sort of was the entire problem. That I felt I was never heard. So I guess even within the breakup, it was kind of the same dynamic that we always had.
Is this clicking soothing you as you think about this stressful experience?
Yeah. It does really help for just sort of taking your mind off of things.
That's good. I'm sorry you dealt with that with your boyfriend, but if it was that mutual, then it sounds like it's a good thing ultimately,
yeah,
right?
For the best.
Yeah, and now you're back on the scene with the Tinder. You mentioned the Tinder.
I think that's just a distraction. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's like, it feels good to have somebody pay attention to you, but
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my mom is trying to FaceTime me right now. Decline. All right.
You declined your mom's FaceTime. If she ever hears this, she's going to hear how quick and brutal you were with that decision, and she's going to feel very put off, I think. She ever listens to this show?
I don't think that my mom knows what a podcast is. I don't think she, I don't know. Maybe she does. I guess I should ask her.
That's fair. Can I ask another ASMR question?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Are there people in life who provide not online ASMR? Like, are there people who meet in real life to whisper to each other?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, I went to this art show over the summer, and it was like an all ASMR show, and they did have this woman do like a live performance, but I don't know how well it works. I think that like lots of people like unintentionally give other people ASMR. Like I have this friend, and I also work with him. And whenever I have to Skype with him and he's like typing on his keyboard or then talking, I get ASMR from just listening to him. And then I'll accidentally zone out and like not listen to anything that he says. And I'm like, wait, you have to like slow down and tell me that again.
But so there's not like personal one-on-one. You can hire me as an ASMR person to come to your room at night and whisper you to sleep.
Well, not like in real life, but lots of people have like Patreons where like, I'll make you a custom ASMR video, give me a topic, and I'll make a video just for you. Wow. But I've never heard of someone like on demand, like going to them.
Wow. I think I may have just started a new business model for you. Feel free to take that one.
Just in real life ASMR.
IRL-ASMR. Yeah. That's a pretty good business.
There you go.
This truck is trying a truck is trying to run over you backwards. It's been following you for 20 minutes.
I mean, I live in a place that's always under construction, always. So I don't know how to escape it.
Hold on. It sounds like it's stressing you out.
I just don't want to disappoint. It's loud and it's not good.
Don't get stressed out.
What else is there?
I like that you're now officially ignoring me when I do that.
I'm not ignoring you. I guess maybe I am.
You did just That time you ignored me. You're getting a little tired of me bringing back the clicking gag.
Yeah.
So what, you got roommates and stuff?
No, I live alone.
How old are
Just
you?
me, and I'm 28.
Oh, yeah, that's an appropriate age to live alone. Sure.
What is like an inappropriate age to live alone?
It's a great question. I arbitrarily said it was appropriate. Did not put any thought. No, I figured maybe if you were like 21, 22, 23, you might still have roommates. 24. I had roommates until I was 32.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I kind of wish I had them because then my living expenses would not be so high.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the truth, ain't it? You do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So I don't have roommates. I have a cat. She's pretty cool. My mom, speaking of my mom, is coming to visit me next week. So I am trying to get everything ready for her. It's a little bit stressful, but I think it'll be good. But I live in a studio apartment, and so it's just going to be like me and my mom in one room, you know? So I got to like plan some activities so that we're not just staring at each other. Got to like do the fun stuff. Guess that's on my mind.
You got what on your mind? That
Like how I'm
that's
going
on
to
my
occupy
mind.
my mother.
Yeah. Where do you work that you're allowed to be on the phone and take a break this long?
Yeah, I guess that's like one of those things that I just shouldn't say because what if it comes back to me?
That's fair.
I work at, well, let's see, what time is it now? So currently it's like 10:17, and normally I get to work around like 9 to 9:30, and I'm the first person there. So today I'll just be like, oh, weird, it's late, you know?
We're going to go ahead and... Oh, I guess first name's okay, right? Is first name okay?
I said my name.
You said your name. Hey, Greta, we got a name in there. We should mark down that we had a name. We got the name. We got to bleep the name.
Slipped.
That's okay, just a first name, but I think we'll bleep that, right? Look at that. Look at that. So everybody will say, oh, you're late. That's weird. But they're not going to hold it against you because you're always the first one there.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty laid back, which is one of the reasons why I like it.
Yeah. And you said you do some creative stuff.
Yeah, I do design, graphic design.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So I've been thinking a lot about social media and loss. Like, because, for instance, I just sort of lost this relationship, and we like curate our image to the world based on our social networks, right? And then your life suddenly changes. You either lose someone because you have a falling out, or because, I don't know, I guess worst case scenario is because like a death or something, right? And then there's just kind of still in this image of who you are. Unless you actively like delete them from it. But I wonder if before we were all on the internet all the time, if it was like easier or harder to move on without that constant reminder. Like it might have been easier because you didn't actively have to think about whether or not you're going to like delete them from your image. They just were no longer there. Does that make sense?
This shit just got deep out of nowhere.
I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking about.
Shit, you go to Burning Man, huh?
No, that's like the worst thing you could say.
You definitely go to Burning Man. You do ASMR and you contemplate the interactivity between technology and death and loss. You go to Burning Man. We both know you've been to Burning Man. What?
No.
Or Electric Forest? Isn't that one? You meant electric? Which?
No, none of them. That's awful. That's like who I do not want to be.
You're a punk
the
rocker.
opposite of who I want to be.
You're not.
I don't know if I think that like in high school I thought I was a punk rocker. I don't think that's the reality.
But you're not a hippie dip. You're not a hippie dip.
No.
So
I'm not.
In thinking about this crossover between loss and technology, these are deep subjects to think about. What conclusions have you drawn? Sounds like when we come back, we're going to have a real philosophical discussion about the meaning of loss in the digital age. But before that, there's so many sponsors that make this show happen. I'm happy to tell you about many of their products and services. Let's go. If you have questions about your love life, your job, your family, life in general, get a psychic source reading. You can chat online with a psychic or have your reading by phone. Customer care agents are standing by 24/7 to match you personally with one of their gifted psychic advisors. Psychic Source has an amazing first-time discount for our listeners, only 75 cents a minute, plus you get the first 3 minutes free. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy with your reading, it's free. In order to get this special rate, what you do, you keep the Psychic Source phone number, 800-377-3188, stored in your phone, or sign up online at psychicsource.com. Mention promo code BEAUTIFUL when you call or sign up online. If you call or join online now, you'll also get their guide to psychic readings absolutely free with your first paid reading. So call 800-377-3188 or sign up online and use offer code BEAUTIFUL. Let's go ahead and get back to the phone call. In thinking about this crossover between loss and technology, these are deep subjects to think about. What conclusions have you drawn?
I think that the reason why like social media is maybe good after you're going through a loss is because like you can sort of reach out to people without having to be so direct. You know, it's like hard for people these days to like pick up the phone and call a friend, but you can like post a photo and then they'll think about you and then, you know, and then you have some sort of an interaction.
Yeah.
But it's difficult in that you're faced with that choice of like, okay, do I just like pretend like that part of my life never happened and like get rid of it? Do I like unfriend all their friends? Is that okay for my mental health for me to still see their stuff in my feed? Or should I like move on? All of those questions.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like, if it happened because it was like something more tragic, like a death, social media could be hopefully helpful because you're reaching out, but at the same time, you're also looking at other people like live their happy lives and you're like grieving. So I don't know if that would be helpful, you know?
Yeah, I tell you, I had a weird one recently where I met there was a kid, he's a fan of the TV show that I do. And, you know, that's a pretty active online community. And I had seen this kid's name around, and then I did stand up in Denver. And I met him. He waited for me after the show. He like waited for a long time. And he was really nice, really sweet guy. And then the next I heard, he had passed away. He was young. He was in his 20s. Passed away. And his Facebook page is still up there. And it is exactly what you're talking about. This like thing of, it's a person who I didn't know all that well in real life, but who I have some fondness of. And now we are Facebook friends. And that theoretically will go on forever. And
yeah.
What happens then? You know, it's like, and I see people posting people who knew him much better than I did still post messages on his wall of how they miss him. And it's like an odd thing where I only had a very tangential online relationship with him outside of one face-to-face meeting that lasted for maybe 5 minutes. And now I have access to all these people publicly grieving. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is really odd. And it's also like you feel sort of like it's very voyeuristic, like watching people publicly declare their grief, you know, and you're like, oh, like it's a human emotion that you can empathize with, but it also feels like so private, and you're like, should I be looking at this? Should I not?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to say that we maybe give a little too much of ourselves away in current times.
Yeah, but I guess that's like the name of the game, though, right? Like, you wouldn't have a successful podcast if you weren't on Twitter and people didn't call.
I mean,
you know?
even the premise of the podcast itself is lets you and I have an intimate conversation and let anyone in the world theoretically hear
For
it.
sure.
So we're a couple of fucking hypocrites right here, me and you. Sorry about that, Sally.
Yeah,
I used the
I
F
guess
word,
I'm
Ma.
not trying.
Sorry, Sally. My mom's Sally Gethard. She hates when I use the F word. Sorry, Ma.
Does she? Does she listen to all of your podcasts?
Yeah, she does. She said she couldn't make it through the poop one, but she's heard all the others.
That's good. Very supportive.
Yeah, she's a good lady. She's a good lady. I've put her through a lot in life, and she still supports me, so it's nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my mom got really psyched on my ASMR stuff, which I didn't expect. I thought she was going to think it was very weird, but she really likes it, and all the time is like coming up with ideas of things that she thinks I should make them about.
Whoa, so she watches all your videos.
Yeah.
Has she ever dabbled? Has she ever tried ASMR?
Doing it herself? I don't think so, but maybe that's one thing we can do together. Hook her up to the microphone.
Maybe that's one activity when she's staying with you in your studio apartment. You and your mom.
Yeah, we're like in the dark.
You and your mom on mics in the dark in a studio apartment, whispering soothing thoughts to theoretical listeners.
Yeah, that's a good bonding experience, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you should go for it.
She's like recently really into like crystals and like hippie shit that I'm not really into.
So your mom
but
goes
I live
to
in
Burning
a city.
Man. Your mom goes to Burning
maybe.
Man.
But I live in a city where like that stuff is easily accessible if you want to, dabble in it. So I guess I might take her to like a tarot place or something. I don't know. That's one idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to figure you out.
How long have we been on the phone? Tell me how long we've been on this call. Because my phone says like a very long time.
We've been on the phone for 46 minutes.
Okay, so we got like 15 minutes to really say something.
14 minutes.
Okay. I dropped the phone. Did you hear that?
I did. I was wondering what was going on.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to re-plug in my headphones. Okay, I'm back.
Can I let you know that the clicking sounds the replugging in of your headphones made were incredibly soothing?
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, you should leave that in there. Don't edit it out.
When this episode comes on, you'll hear we did not edit it out, and you'll listen back to them and say, wow, those were very natural ASMR moments of soothing clicks.
There you go.
Oh, wow, my chair fell apart. Did you hear that? You dropped your phone, and then I almost broke my shoulder leaning on my own chair. Oh, it's not good. All right. Got 13 minutes left. There's no pressure. This is already a standout call. This is already an all-star call. You got no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
Good. All-star level ASMR.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
You're a happy person, huh? You're a pretty happy, well-adjusted person.
I don't know. I guess so. I mean, I have probably, I feel like I've seen some hard times in my life, even though I'm still young. And so I think when you go through shit, it makes you stronger. So I try to be happy. Yeah. I guess I can just like tell you some heavy stuff because that's what people like listen to this for, right?
I hope. Oh God.
Are you ready?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, we've spent 48 minutes talking about your
happy things.
Well, you're soothing a subculture you participate in that's aimed at creating soothing thoughts and feelings. So yeah, with our last 12 minutes, let's get heavy, I guess.
I guess. So my brother died when he was like 4 years old, and I was 2 years old of this
Oh.
genetic disorder.
I'm so sorry.
That has to do with, yeah, it's sad. But I think that the crazier thing that happened, not crazy, the thing that happened was it's a genetic disorder. And so my whole life I was under the impression that there was no way that I had it, because I was tested when I was like 2 years old and they told me that I didn't have it. So like no need to worry. And then a few years ago, my dad told me that like the science has advanced and they know more about it than they used to, and that there's a 50% chance that I do have it, and that my mom definitely has it, which was like a complete shift, you know, in how I thought about everything, because I thought there was like no way that I could possibly have this disorder. And he told me that like the only place I can go to get tested is like in the city where I live. There's a hospital that does, it's like the only place in the world that does research on it. So he, of course, like wanted me to go get tested, and I didn't want to, because it's not like heart disease or something where you can like exercise and eat well and you're going to be okay. It's like your organs just might rupture and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. It's not like becoming a vegan or like meditating is going to help you. It's just like your body doesn't have enough collagen to like hold your shit together. So there was like a time period where my dad and I weren't speaking because he was very upset with me that I didn't want to get tested. And so, yeah, that's kind of the heavy shit.
Wow. I don't think a call has ever gone from playful to sad more quickly than this one just did. Hearing that you have a genetic condition where your organs might rupture because
But I don't think I have it, and like I'm pretty certain. But if I did have it, I don't know if I would want to know. But I am like 80% positive. I feel like people who do have this disorder have like a lot of medical problems, and
I'm sure
like,
have to live in constant fear.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm a relatively healthy human, and like I don't need the fear of like one day my stomach could pop, you know? Like my dad wants the confirmation that there is no chance that my stomach will pop, right? But I can't really live with the possibility that they tell me, oh no, well there actually is a chance, you know? Like that's not something I want to hear.
Yeah. So he wants the peace of not knowing, but as the person dealing with it, he wants the peace of knowing. You want the peace of being able to not think about it.
Yeah, and like technically my mom, if that's how it's inherited, and she definitely has it, you know, she's like a 65-year-old lady and she's had like 2 kids. Like she's not dead. You know what I mean? So like she's lived a life. So, and she doesn't know for sure if she has it, and she's fine, you know?
Yeah. That's really heavy stuff. That's a lot to think about. Remember 20 minutes ago when we had all those laughs, clicking things? Remember 20 minutes ago? It was like, oh, I'm having so much fun talking about this thing.
Well, yeah, but I think that's like that was like a big turning point for me, because when my dad told me all of this information, like I was super depressed and anxious for a while, because I was going back and forth in my mind, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to test myself? Do I not? But that was like probably 4 years ago now, so feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're feeling pretty okay with it now? You're feeling good with your decision?
Yeah, I think that like every year around this time, I kind of think about it again, because inevitably, like, my health insurance always changes because my employer is always trying to get like the best deal. And so there's always a thought of like, wait, should I go back to the network where they can test me, or should I just stick with my doctors that I have now?
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to go back to the network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I like hearing you have a devious giggle at how far the pendulum has swung on this one.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like it's just an awkward, it's a nervous laugh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
These things happen. But I
think about it, it's like if there was social media, like at the time when my brother died, would my parents feel better about it? Probably not. Or would they? I don't know.
You mean if they were able to express publicly into that social media void?
Yeah, or if there was some like time capsule of him on the internet of like photos, or is that just super depressing?
Wow. It's really, you still there? Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I thought you got cut off when the last words were, or is it just super depressing? At what is the most depressing part of this episode? I bet there were a lot of people early on that were like, wow, man, yeah, finally a fun one. I bet a lot of people, first 80% of this episode were like, oh, this one was really funny and interesting. And then all of a sudden we were talking about people dying and stomachs popping, the nature of death and memorials in current society. And man,
yeah,
a lot of layers to you, lady. A lot of layers to you.
Yep.
You and
like an onion.
You happy? You happy being single right now? Or you looking for a new boyfriend? You like being in the relationships, or you like the single life?
I think I like relationships, but I don't. I don't want to really put a whole lot of effort into it right now unless it's like reciprocated. So I'm not trying that hard. I mean, I have like a guy that I hung out with once that maybe, but I'm not like actively pursuing anything really.
And what do you go out with friends a lot?
Yeah, try to. Yeah. But I'm kind of a hermit. I mean, I guess probably you could already tell that by the fact that I like make weird recordings. But yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a secret double life you have where that's what you're doing and no one knows about it. That's like your superhero life.
That's true. Maybe I should try to do that.
Yeah. Change
my identity. Yeah, that's the weird thing. This is another thing I've been thinking about is like when my ex came over to break up, he was like wearing clothes that he normally didn't wear. And I'm like, oh, this is him like separating himself from like my vision of him, right? Like wearing like shoes and pants that he didn't normally wear.
He's trying to
it's kind of bizarre, but I understood
redefine
it.
himself.
I was like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. I was like, I get that.
Wow. You're really like a philosopher. You think a lot about the state of the world and why things operate the way they do, and if that's right or wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong about that.
You're a cool lady.
So, weekend plans?
I don't think in the history of this show there's ever been a more charming admission that we are just getting to the finish line than you asking me if I have weekend plans. Well, I'm doing a show right now, so every weekend for the next 8 weeks I do 2 shows on Saturday, 2 shows on Sunday. It's like that's a lot. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the first actual weekend. I don't know if I can do this 4 times in 2 days. So that's my weekend plans, is figuring out if I have the stamina to actually do this thing I have signed up to do. How about you?
Is it back to back?
It's 4:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. every day. If you're hearing this before the end of November 2016, you can go get tickets. But yeah, if not, don't worry about that. Yeah, who knows? How about you? What's the weekend plans?
I'm going to a birthday party tonight, and then Saturday I'm hanging out with a friend. That's
and then you're gonna
just like friend stuff, and then
click your fingernails against the edge of a butter knife. Click your fingernails against the edge of a butter knife.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to finish like my next ASMR thing this weekend. Although I'm not sure because I tried recording a few days ago, and there's so much noise in the background that I might have to redo it. So, yeah.
It's always a bummer when that happens.
Right?
We got 1 minute left. Do you want to give us a minute of ASMR to end the episode?
Sure.
Go for broke.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beautiful Anonymous. It was a lot of fun. I hope that you look up ASMR and that you enjoy it and that it helps you in whatever way you need at the time. That's all I got.
I think you nailed it. Oh, I got another one. I got another one for our listeners in particular.
Okay. Go.
Hey, and anybody who asks me if I ever try to track down the people who call, no, I don't. And you should be cool and not do that either. You should just lay off the Google. Chill out. Thank you for this call. This call was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, Chris.
Yeah, good luck with everything. You too. Caller, what a fascinating person you are. Thanks for telling me about all those things I didn't know about. Thanks for being so charming and open and honest. And also, I want you to know, I do not believe for a second that you have never been to Burning Man. There's so many people I have to thank who helped make this show happen. The Reverend John Delore, Greta Cohn, Jared O'Connell, Shellshag, who make all the music for the show. Anybody who ever asks where the music comes from, it's Shellshag. Go download all their stuff. Find out more about me at chrisgeth.com. Also, careersuicideshow.com. And get tickets to the new off-Broadway show that I'm doing that's produced by Judd Apatow. Subscribe to this show if you haven't already. And hey, rate it and review it. It really does help. I made a joke about it during the course of this episode, but genuinely, it helps so much. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for listening in general. We'll see you next time. Here's what you'll hear next time on Beautiful Anonymous.
But I also make art, and I don't know, I said to the guy, I have ghost stories, if that's interesting.
I'll hear some. Fuck yeah. You seen a ghost?
Oh yeah, I've seen a ton of ghosts.
Tell me about all these ghosts you've
seen. And that's what I make my art. That's what I make my art about.
You make your art about the ghosts you have personally witnessed? Ooh.
Yeah.
A spooky episode. You make sculptures of the ghosts you've seen.
I make places for them to live.
That's next time on Beautiful Stories from Anonymous People.
What's up? This is Hannibal Buress, and I got a new podcast coming out soon on the Earwolf Network. It's called Handsome Rambler. It's gonna be me talking about life on the road, sports, relationships, philosophy, books. Anything can happen on the Handsome Rambler. It's gonna be an extravaganza. Check it out, the Handsome Rambler. Coming soon on the Earwolf Network. You know what it is.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.